my knowledge of the Graffiti Bridge really starts back when I was in high school, because we always knew about the Graffiti Bridge, but you know, we didn't, growing up in the Putnam City area, it wasn't our area of town, so we just, you know, drive by it but never mess with it.
Driving up Western with my parents in the back of their car, always went under the bridge on the way from McGinnis area. We used to live on 33rd and Dewey, that's where I grew up. And we would go up Western to go to some of those old antique stores sometimes. And I guess there was a Split Tea I used to go to at Western. And so I always remembered it being different colors and different school names, and I was always curious, you know, what's going on with that, and who does that, and isn't it kind of scary, those older kids, what they do and how they do it. So I remember driving under it and always waiting for, well, who's going to be next? Is it the Irish or, you know, Cassidy or whatever?
To students of McGinnis, students of John Marshall, students of Cassidy, certainly, those three schools predominantly, you know, had some ownership to that bridge. I think the McGinnis kids always felt like that it was an extension of the school, so they saw it their, you know, their duty to take care of it in some way, and so it was constantly painted.
I did it a number of times, and it was a matter of getting the paint together and who had the car that was going to go down there, where were we going to park the car. I remember climbing up the little hill over to the side.
They would be hanging upside down from the top of the bridge. They'd bring ladders. They'd stick ladders in the back of their truck. They'd be in the beds of their truck. They had long extension poles with their paint rollers.
Rollers, and you know, the kind of clothes that you could mess up and your mom wouldn't, you know, get too angry at you. And figuring out who's going to draw, you know, do which letters of Irish, you know, so we had green and white paint. And the idea was to completely obscure the prior group of kids that were there before.
If John Marshall painted it one night, you could count on McGinnis painting it the next night. If Cassidy painted it one night, you could count on McGinnis kids getting over there and painting it again.
It was always late at night, but it was a real sort of spirit thing, you know, before the game, and it was a great fun. It was a lot of fun to do that.
There's things in high school that bond you to your fellow students, to the school, to the community in a special way. And from that aspect, you know, you're sad to see that part go.
And when we painted it, we got paint on our clothes, and it was cool. It was a great feeling, actually. But it definitely was a step into the cool crowd.
For our kids, it was a very sad event. I can tell you a lot of our students, current students that were in the school at that time, and then graduates, were on hand when the bridge was being torn down. And you know, it's progress. You know, you knew that certain things had to happen, and that the street had to be widened out in that area for businesses to grow. But it was a sad day for McGinnis students.